Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Benefits Cool Down Ted Lasso edition. I'm Eric Silverman, aka Ted Lasso. That, my friends, is Sam, aka Ed Legande. I still can't pronounce Sam's last name properly. I apologize, Sam. Um, Ed, I got a really good one for you this week, man. I love when Ted Lasso said this. I remember this specifically. He said, I think that you might be so I think that you might be so sure that you're one in a million that sometimes you forget that out there you're just 1 in 11. So 1 in a million versus 1 in 11. What say you?
Well, my wife always tells me I'm one in a million, so I'll go with that. But never mind. I'm totally kidding, of course. Essentially, I mean, this just makes me think of teamwork, right? That's the one thing that resonates throughout that entire quote. And I remember the scene as well when he's talking to one of the hotshot soccer players on the team, and I've dealt with that even in my own soccer career. And you realize that you are just 1 in 11 out there, but at the same time, that's an opportunity too, right? It's not just you're not only competing against another 11 out there. You're competing with the other 10 players on the field, and you all have a common goal. Now, in our business, whether it's within the HR department, whether it's within my own team here at Nielsen, or when we're building health plan ecosystems and overall employee benefit experiences and working with partners like you or our health plan partners or dental partners, so on and so forth. The key is that we all want to set each other up for success, right? Yeah, it's not just the Ed Legande show. It's not the Nielsen Benefits show. It's not the VP of HR show, right? What can we do collectively to achieve a common goal? I've said this before. It's about sitting on the same side of the table. There's too many times where there's a frustration with one aspect of a health plan ecosystem, or for example, this has happened even recently where we have a health plan that hadn't been running that great, and everyone wanted to point fingers at each other, right? The TPA was blaming the broker. The broker, office, our office was doing a little bit of finger pointing too at the pharmacy vendor, and the pharmacy vendor was blaming the stop loss carrier. And it was a joke, honestly. It was a joke. And I kind of took a step back and realized that, guys, we're on the same team here. We're supposed to compete for the same end goal. Can we just get on the same page? I mean, if you watch teams like, I'm a Lakers fan, right? And when you see, if you watch the Lakers play, when they play terribly, or any good team, it doesn't have to be the Lakers, any good team, when they play terribly is when they're playing very individualistic. When they play collectively as a team, setting each other up for success, that's how teams win championships, right? And so the same thing goes in the business world too. Stop the finger pointing. It does no good from an ongoing perspective. And ultimately, it's just about make sure you're on the same page, but at the same time, holding each other accountable. Holding each other accountable doesn't mean you're pointing the finger. And again, it's not just shining a spotlight on you; it's shining a spotlight on the client and your goal. Does that make sense? What do you think?
Oh, for sure. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I know you're a football, soccer fan, basketball fan, etc. I'm not a fan of any of that. I'm a fan of Ted Lasso, and I'm a fan of baseball. And the easiest example of when it comes to sports that I see is not too far from you, the San Diego Padres. They went out and spent ridiculous, obnoxious amounts of money to improve their team now 3 years in a row. This year was the most notable, and they just can't get along. There's literally clips in the dugout of the players arguing all the time. Well, why? In my opinion, and I'm a armchair coach here, an armchair manager of the team. You got too many egos. You got too many hot shots. You got too many Jamie Tarts, because that's who Ted Lasso directed that quote to. And if you have a team full of, you don't have to be full. If you have 3 or 4 Jamie Tarts on your team, good luck. The talent is certainly there, but the mindset and ego is going to tremendously get in the way, in my opinion. So yeah, no, we see it every day, and it's not just in our benefits businesses. You're running Nielsen, me running voluntary disruption, but happens to employers and HR departments all the time. A lot of times it happens when you're talking about a sales team, right? Talking about an HR or a manager or an operations or a business owner who has to manage salespeople, and it's the 80-20 rule. So a lot of times if you have 10 salespeople, you got 2 or 3 hot shots that are the Jamie Tarts that think they're hot stuff. And then you got the other 7 or 8 players who are trying to do well, but it's really, really, really tough when those egos and that mindset gets in the way. So anyway, I'm Eric, aka Ted Lasso. That, my friends, is Sam Obisanya. Did I get it right? Obisanya,
You nailed it.
otherwise known as Ed Legande. And what do we say? I mean, I want to hear your opinion. Does Ed and Sam, are they doppelgangers of each other? And as always, if you listen this far and had some fun, comment the word banana, but don't forget to give us your input on the episode itself. Stay tuned for next week for another Ted Lasso edition of the Benefits Cool Down. Thanks, everybody.